Hello guys, and welcome to the TTO Guardian Support Guide. I am Jocky, and today I will be talking to you about the way in which I play my Guardian, the traits and the spells that I use, including the weapon sets and everything else basically that I actually use to play my game in structured PvP. Now to start off, I'm going to be talking about my traits. Now to do with traits, I decided to leave Zeal and Radiance out. These two are definitely damaging traits. You do not want these as a support guardian. They are really good if you're going to go DPS, but don't use them if you're a support because they are highly useless. I've got 30 points in Valor, 30 points in Honour and 10 in Virtues. Now the 30 points in Valor and the 10 points in Virtues can be swapped, but it's personal preference to what you do. I will go over 30 in Virtues as well, but right now I'll leave it as the base in which I use because I like to be a little bit more defensive in my actions. So in Valor you start off with 300 toughness, really great trait, really strong if you're a good defender of a point, if you like playing that like I do, a really strong tanky support guardian that can just sit and hold a point on his own versus 3 guys and you can just really soak the damage. The next one is critical. Now this is not that great. You know, it's one of those where if you're hitting somebody with your one key and just smashing them about, you know, you can get a crit off. It's great, you know, it increases the damage. So it is possible, you know, you can get it off and, you know, it can be effective, but nevertheless it's just one of those, you know, you give up the 2 good traits down here, 2 medium traits down here for 1 really strong trait and 1 really weak trait. So it does kind of balance out in the way in which it goes. But nevertheless, I'll start off with the actual Valor trait itself. So we do have 30 points, we do have 5, 15 and 25, and we do have our 3 major traits. So the 3 minor traits are: you gain an Aegis at 50%, Courage when you rally, and you gain Might when you block. These are 3 minor traits that you will get no matter what. You can't change them, they stay the same. They are effective. For example, Aegis when your health reaches 50% is really good, but you know, this is pretty crap, to be honest with you. It doesn't really help you at all. And okay, gain Might when you block attacks. Well, you block attacks quite a lot, but Might's not really that great for you. But nevertheless, it's the major traits that really do help you out as a support guardian. Now, nearby allies gain 30 toughness. This is my first major trait in Valor. Now, this is quite a good trait. You know, you gain 30 toughness, and also as well, you give that little buff off to, you know, off to your party members. The next major trait is plus 90 toughness when wearing a shield. Now, wearing a shield as a support guardian is vastly important. I'd say I would have my shield on for 70% of a fight. Mainly because I use a mace, and I'll get onto that later, but I really do use a shield because not only does it give you a block, it gives you loads of other important spells as well, and it just, you use this trait and it gives you another 90 toughness, which is grand, you know, more tanky. So moving on to the final one, applying a boon to allies heals you. Now this is the reason why I've gone into Valor, guys. This spell, or this trait rather, this passive trait is unbelievable. You are always applying boons to allies. Even if that major trait gives you 100 health back, you can apply 5 boons at once to all allies instantly using spells. That might be 500 health that you get back. You never know. That's brilliant. You know, that's just one of the best traits that I can possibly say. So moving on. So next is Honour. Now in Honour, you get 300 vitality and 300 increased healing. This is amazing. I cannot stress to you enough, if you're a support guardian and you don't have 30 points in Honour, what are you doing? You know, you really should have this. These 2 traits are massively great. They've ArenaNet have put these in the same. This is like God's gift to support Guardians. It's truly great. You can't get any better than that. Those two states, 300 more vitality, which is health, and 300 plus healing. You just can't beat it. It's absolutely amazing. The first trait that I've got is symbols are larger. Now, a lot of people must be thinking, what? What is he talking about? Larger symbols? Well, I'll tell you what. There's a good reason for that. This is because when you're using Symbol of Faith, which is a healing spell, I'll show you later on when we get in, but that spell is vastly important. Such a great trait. I did only change that a couple of times, but after using that, small scale fights, the larger AoE circle which is coming out, that is lovely. You can get so many people. Nobody has to. Your team can be a little bit less, a little bit less compact and get out and still receive the healing inside the circle. So it's such a great buff. All of your symbols heal allies. That means when you're using your Symbol of Faith, that is absolutely amazing. It gives you increased bonus healing. It might only give you 200 extra healing every second, but hey, guess what? That's a lot. And for your third major, nearby allies, gain Virtue of Resolve as a passive effect. Well, there's nothing greater than sitting there gaining, 180 extra HP every 3 seconds to you and your allies around you. Great spell. Really great. And that works really well with the major trait that I have in my virtues as well, which is Resolve, which is your Virtue of Resolve is stronger. Just going to go over the minor spells really quick. So gain 1 second of vigor when you critically hit. So this is not that great, but okay, still works. At the end of your dodge roll, you heal allies. This is great. If you dodge big attacks, you can actually heal your own allies. Fantastic spell, ArenaNet. Well done. Increasing the way in which you play and way in which you dodge. If you dodge all the time and stuff, or you dodge in the right way and towards your allies, you actually are rewarded for it. So that's a really good minor trait. I really do love that. That's absolutely marvellous. The last one is you deal more damage at low endurance. So when you're really low, you do a bit more damage, but that's just as a last resort. You're not really meant to put out loads of damage as a support. But like I say, that major, you really need that major because that's really good. Moving on to virtues. Now these give you 10% boon duration and virtue rate. Yeah, it's good, but not as good, in my personal opinion, as that extra toughness. It does work, but it also doesn't. So, it is okay. When you actually use your virtues, which are these 3 buttons here, you actually get boons when you activate them. So when you activate them, so for example, if you activate F1, which is Virtue of Justice, you actually gain might for a certain time. Now, I think this is only for 3 seconds, but this is really good. Anyway, moving on now to weapons. Now, I choose to go with a mace and a shield. Your 1 strike, if you hit that 3 times, actually heals you. Now, Symbol of Faith. Now, normally Symbol of Faith, not only does it heal you and players around you, but it would only be this big. It would only actually be that big, which is that tiny circle in there. Maybe a little tiny bit bigger. But that's really tiny for actual teammates to walk in and get that 600 heal, or even more. It can go up to, as you can see here, it can probably go up to 4 times 700, which is 2,800, and that comes every sort of second. So 700 healing. If it's a lot larger, your allies can stand in it, and it is, if you just walk over it, you do get the heal, which is really effective. For your third spell, Protector Strike, you press that. If nothing gets broken, if it does get broken, you do damage back out. If it doesn't get broken, you get protection, which is really good to 3 seconds. Works really well. It is very situational to how it works. can work great in some situations and can really stump you in others, because that time that you're standing there protecting, you could be doing other more important things. Now, Shield of Judgment, not only does it do damage, but it also chucks out a boon to yourself and all allies in front. So if you can get this at a 45-degree angle to your allies in front of you, you can do tons and tons of damage and really help them out. The last one is Shield of Absorption. Now this spell, I must say, is one of my favourite spells as a support guardian. Not only is it a great utility spell, so you can get in there and shield and block arrows and all of the rest of it, and not only does it push people back out, it's actually really useful as a save spell, so you can dodge roll over to somebody, bang that shield up, absolutely destroy an enemy's movement path, and just completely save a teammate. So my next weapon set, and remember guys, changing weapon sets is really important as a support guardian. Now for your first one, Wave of Wrath just does that all the time, no passive, no increase when you actually damage people, not that great. Orb of Light. Now Orb of Light actually sends off a spell that actually heals and damages people. So as you can see there, it heals Felite, you know, just blowing that one out there, you know. But yeah, it actually heals. If you do blow it up, I think it's on an 8-second cooldown, or 12-second cooldown, should I say. So it's relatively short, but does do quite a lot of healing. It's a direct heal, so it will heal and stuff like that. Third spell is Symbol of Swiftness. When you put this on the floor around you, as you can see, bigger symbols, more time around to get to your swiftness, so you can get more people in and around that area. Gives you an increase for maybe 8 seconds, which is really good. And yeah, just really awesome spell. If you're starting in a structured PvP tournament, you want to get out really fast, this is the spell to use, and you can keep on using it and keep on using it when it's effective. Now for the full spell, Line of Warding. Using this spell, you can drop it down. As you can see there, I've taken off my lines because I know where it's going to go, but no enemies can walk through this. Now blocking off certain points or blocking off certain areas where enemies can't get in is so much fun. I can't tell you the amount of fun I've had against, you know, not great teams, and they just, you know, they try and run back out past the keep, and you literally just stick this down. They can't get past the door or the exit, and they just get completely and utterly pooped on, basically. Now, Martyr. Now, this is really good because this can take all of your conditions from your allies to yourself. Now, if people are smart, they can get you by doing this, because if you've got like a thief that can do quite a lot of conditional damage, they can actually just come in, burn all of your players, and then once you take all of those onto you, if they all focus you, you will be stacked up with conditions and you really will go down fast. Guardians can handle a lot of burst damage because they can just take it, but conditional damage is a lot different. It's that over time, a lot of damage over time. I'm going to talk about the F1, F2 and F3 buttons, which are your virtues. These are really important. If you do not keep on using your F1 key when you are in a fight, you should just uninstall if you're a support guardian. If you've got 3 people extra around you, you put that off. That's like 5,000 damage plus that you can do to one person. Now, the F2 spell, which is healing, as we've already spoken about the passive, it gives you about 150 every 3 seconds. Really good. And also if you pop that, it gives you 1,800 healing to you and any allies in a certain area. I'm not quite sure how far it actually is, but it's quite a distance, so it does help. Virtue of Courage, you actually block every 40 seconds, and if you know that there's going to be a warrior that's going to eviscerate, you can literally, it's hard to do, but you can block it. Moving on to your healing, utility, and what I like to call ultimate spells. Even though it's an elite, I like to call it an ultimate. You can't get nothing better than Healing Breeze. Just doing this and healing allies in front of you and healing yourself as well. It can be kicked, so it has to be used. You can be knocked back on this by doing this, and this spell will go off and you might not even get a heal off, so it has to be used situationally. However, you know, it is quite good, and it heals allies as well for 3,600. Absolutely marvellous. Wouldn't take anything else apart from that. Really great spell. Hold the line. 35-second cooldown. Gives you a 6-second 1000 heal. 35-second cooldown. The reason why I take this, breaks a stun every 35 seconds. Absolutely brilliant. Also gives you protection for 3 seconds and a heal. Absolutely marvellous, and that affects everybody in a radius around you. Absolutely brilliant. Sanctuary. Put this down over your top. Now, no arrows, no melee, no nothing can get into that. You can get kicked out of it by elementalists that do knock you back, but other than that, that spell really, really useful. Gives heals to all of your players into it. If you are going to take on, to say, if 5 people rush you and there's only 2 or 3, you've only got an extra person or an extra 2 people with you and you're really heavily outnumbered, Sanctuary, really, really top class spell. Now, the next one is Bow of Truth. Now, not only does this get rid of conditions, which is really, really great if you're using Martyr as well. So if you have this active and you use Martyr, it will take those conditions off of you. It actually heals you as well, and heals all allies in that circle. Now, that circle will heal you for about 4,000. Now, that is pretty damn strong, and for a 60-second cooldown, that's really good. So now we're going to go on to Tome of Courage. Now, Tome of Courage, you've just got to have it. It's got to be done. You know, you pop that, you come back, you pop that. Light of Deliverance, you heal all allies in your area up to 5. Amazing spell up to full. You also gain double HP. You can stun people. You can give protection and a heal. You can blind enemies, and you can give a 1k heal consistently every second for as long as it's up. I think it's up for about 15 seconds. Absolutely clutch pulls that you can pull out with this spell if you use it right. Use Sanctuary first and then Tome of Courage, so you can't be stomped away from close range. So you're healing yourself if you're taking quite a bit of punishment. But other than that, really, really solid spell. Now, for armor runes and stuff like that, I've actually did have increased healing. But I have actually chose to go back to the Guardian because it gives you toughness and healing. And you also inflict a burn when you block. So if you're using a shield, which you most of the time you normally do, then you do actually really, you know, burn quite a lot of people if you get attacked. Now, obviously, this is beta, so it's likely to change. But as you can see, you know, I've got healing power of 350. This is because they have actually taken out all the trinkets and stuff for this beta. But anyway, so the increase of healing, you know, plus 50 healing, you might not seem it's enough, but it does help. You can get the other healing stuff as well, but it's all good. Also Seagulls as well, 30% chance to heal nearby allies, and you have that on your shield and your staff as well. Really, really good when you block an attack on your shield. You can actually heal maybe 120, I think it is, but nevertheless, really, really, really good. So that's basically all, guys. If there's any questions, don't be afraid to comment on them. Remember to post on our forums. That is TheTyrianOrder.com. If you wish to, please do sign up to the website. If you want to join the Tyrian Order, we will be doing structured PvP and world PvP. And we will be going for actual real tournaments and actually trying to get pretty far as well. We have quite a few skilled players already that I have been playing in the beta. So if you guys wish to apply, jump on over, sign up, give us your input, sign up on the forums. Please do that anyway. Thank you. Don't forget to remember to favourite and subscribe this video. And if you want more from us, just keep on visiting. I've been Jocky, and this was your Guardian support guide. Thank you very much for listening, guys. Peace out.